Okay guys, this is episode 4, I think, from the Namibia series. We're in Solitaire, which is just outside of Sossusvlei, and we've got a really long distance to cover over this episode. Basically, we're driving to Swakopmund now, then we're going straight up the Skeleton Coast, and then into Tomorrowland. So I don't know exactly what we're gonna photograph all along the way, but there will definitely be some photos of some stuff. And we'll photograph that stuff soon. But first, today's video is sponsored by Squarespace.com. If you're looking for a place to start a travel photography blog or portfolio, Squarespace is a really good spot to start. There's lots of really good blogging tools with a lot of cool features like geotagging, simultaneously posting to your social media, and really clever templates to make portfolios or galleries look really good, really easy. So whether you're looking to sell images or just have a really cool place to show them off, Squarespace is an awesome place to do that. So head to squarespace.com/BrendanVanson and you'll get a little bit of a discount on your first purchase. One thing about the pandemic in Namibia is these dirt roads are usually a nightmare, full of bumps, washboard, and dust from dozens of tourists and 4x4s. And the journeys are faster. In fact, we even got to Swakopmund over an hour faster than usual, with plenty of time for sunset. We've made it to Swakopmund, which is kind of a crazy town. It's like a wealthy, I don't even know what you call it, just a wealthy town on the coast here in Namibia. We've shot this before, I've shot this in the past, but kind of just doing an easy photo for a change. So many of the photos so far on this trip have been a lot of work, and just coming to the pier at sunset, yeah, it's kind of nice. So on the camera I have a 3-stop ND and a reverse grad ND. We're shooting straight into the sunset, and I'm just waiting till the sun hits the horizon, and then that reverse grad ND darkens the sun, but you still get the beautiful skies. Taking pictures directly into the sun is never easy. And honestly, before I started using a reverse grad ND, I just avoided it. But it works. The colors really pop. In the morning, we headed north up the Skeleton Coast. This part of the country is beyond desolate, with roads made of salt and, well, some other stuff to photograph. Some stinky, but cute, stuff to photograph. Okay, so it's day 2 on the coast. We're pushing up the Skeleton Coast, a little bit behind schedule, a little bit weary of gas shortages, and made our first stop in a place that I'm glad we don't have smell-o-vision for you, as it smells terrible. We're at the Cape Cross Sea Colony. It's a colony full of fur seals, and usually you have this boardwalk that you can walk around the seals, but the seals have taken it over, so you can't walk on it. All you can do is sit in the parking lot. But there's literally, I don't know how many to guesstimate, a couple hundred seals, fur seals, just right here, and it smells terrible. The fur seals smell horrendous, which is like a natural deterrent for tourists who might take the calmness of the animal as an invitation to get too close. Luckily, I have 500 millimeters of lens to get some photos without breaking my smell sensor completely. And as much as I'd love to say that I could photograph these seals all day, my nose can't handle it. So, we bumped our way back onto the road and north towards Skeleton Coast National Park. And we're at the Skeleton Coast Gate, and they have said that in the past 10 years or so, there's actually been an increase in lion activity. There's 150 desert coastal lions now in this area, and they've seen them today. So I'd love to see them, but I think we'd have to be very lucky. They also said the brown hyenas have just been off in this distance, so I wasn't planning on game driving per se, And we'll still have to get lucky, but I definitely think I'm gonna put on my longer lens, just in case. Sadly, there's no lions or brown hyenas today, so we settled for some windswept flamingos in a lagoon. Then, we cut east into what might be the most underrated place in Namibia, Tomorrowland. Tomorrowland is red earth and rugged. It's special, and there are animals. It's far away, but this is a red desert elephant. It survives by digging water in dry riverbeds. And unlike the gray elephants elsewhere, they're tinted red from the red earth mud baths that give themselves to stay cool. There are giraffe here too, and the colorful landscape they stand in make for some pretty spectacular images. I mean, it feels like another planet. Okay, made it through a good chunk of Tomorrowland. Had an awesome time. Saw my first ever red desert elephant, although it was way off in the distance, but still cool to see. And lots of giraffe actually. And then we climbed this gnarly hill that I couldn't get on video because I had to concentrate on the driving. And made it to our lodge here, which is Rootberg Lodge, Rootberg Lodge, and I don't think we're gonna struggle trying to find a place to shoot sunset or sunrise, because check this view out. This place is ridiculous. Yeah, this place is insane. And it was actually a total accident we ended up here. This wasn't on my plans until just a couple nights prior, deciding that setting up camp was too much after a long drive. And I'm glad we ended up here. These views are world class. And at sunset, with a beer in my hand, I managed to frame this photo. Then as soon as the sun went down, I took a well-deserved full night's sleep. Okay, so yesterday I totally forgot to film sunset. I was just so caught up in the fact that we have this beautiful view, and I just took a picture. I am not a massive fan of photographing huge vistas. I find it very difficult to show how deep and how vast and how big everything is. You go too wide and everything looks small and flat. You go too telephoto and you lose the vastness of it. So I'm always trying to find something in the foreground to anchor the image, and I used one of the huts at the lodge to make it happen, and I feel like it did work. What I'm doing now, or what I'm about to do, is I'm going to go to my go-to whenever I'm at big canyons, Grand Canyon or here, and that's just throw on a telephoto lens. I'm going to throw on my 100 to 400 and just pick out some of the details and the layers, and hopefully that helps my image, because I think it needs a little bit of help right now. Someone once said to me, it's pointless to climb a mountain. The best view of the mountain is not from atop it, but the base. And I think that sums up my thought on viewpoints and vistas. And canyons are always tough. They're so vast. But with some nice light, playing with textures and layers within a canyon at sunset or sunrise can lead to some really beautiful images. Okay, so there's some images coming out of this, I think. I've got just a 3-stop hard grad ND on, and I think it's a hard grad ND no matter what because the horizon's so flat. But whenever you're using a telephoto lens, it should always be a hard grad because it softens out. The more telephoto you have, the more that grad softens out. In fact, you can even get an ultra hard edged grad for like really telephoto. We watched the sunrise, and I grabbed an image of a bevy of birds on a branch. And while I loved the landscapes, the teasing of animals in Tomorrowland had me amped up for more wildlife photography. And luckily, we're headed right into the heart of it. Okay, we made it to Etosha. That was a really long drive. From all the way in the south to all the way up north on some dusty, bumpy roads. And today was crazy. I didn't get it on film, but I'm sure one of the participants does. We blew a tire, big time, and then blew one on the trailer. So had 2 blown tires, but we're here now in Etosha. It's really, really hot and really beautiful. We've already seen zebra, springbok, elephants, a rhino way off in the distance, and zebra. And yeah, we're gonna go out for a sunset game drive now. And yeah, hopefully things go a little bit smoother now. This is my happy place. I've said it so many times. I could photograph game drives and do wildlife photography in African parks every day of my life. Etosha is special too. This year, the 10-year drought Namibia had been facing ended, and it's obvious in the park. It's teeming with life. And over the next 5 days, we'll safari here, and I'll review my new photography love, the Canon R6. I'll see you then. Peace!